So the first example we're going to look at in our fractions lesson is we're going to look at simplifying the fraction 18 over 24. So what does this mean? So this means we want to get this number, the top number, numerator, and the denominator down to as small as possible. But in order to do that, we have to find the highest common factor between these two numbers. So we can do that by using our tree method that we looked at in our previous lesson. So if we start off with 18, and we know that 2 times 9 is 18. Is 9 a prime number? No, so 9 breaks down further. So we can say 9 is equal to 3 times 3. And then we can say 18 is equal to 2 times 2 3's here, 3 squared. And we can do the same with 24 now. So 24 breaks down into 2 times 12. Well, 2 is a prime number, so we leave that. 12 isn't. So we can say this is 2 times 6. Another 2, so that's prime, so we leave that. And 6 can break down further into 2 times 3. So we've got a prime number here as well. So we can say 24 is equal to 2 cubed, because there's 3 2's, times 3. So the HCF between the two is going to be the numbers that appear in both and the lowest powers. So 2 here and a 2 here. The lowest power is this 2, because this is actually 2 to the 1. So we put 2 here. And we've got 3 squared and a regular 3. So we're going to put times 3. So our HCF is 6. So what do we do with this 6? Well, we take this 6 and we do 18 divided by 6 to give us 3. And we do 24 divided by 6 to give us 4. And that's our fraction in its simplest form. So 18 over 24, when we divide the numerator and the denominator by 6, becomes 3 over 4. And if you're not familiar with this method, you can go back and look at our previous lesson where we go through how you can find this HCF. So just before we move on, I want to make a quick note of 3 different types of fractions that we're going to come across. So our first is the fraction that we're all familiar with. It's called a proper fraction. And this is where the numerator, which is the top number, is bigger than our denominator. So this is what we call a proper fraction. This means what we'd regularly see as a fraction. The next one is an improper fraction. And this is when, as you can see, the numerator has now become bigger than the denominator. So this is known as an improper fraction. And our final type is a mixed number. So this is when we've got a whole number, so we've got 1 here, and we've got a proper fraction afterwards. So 1 and 6 over 9. So this means 1 whole 1 and a 6 over 9 as well. So in our next few examples, we're going to learn how we can move from improper fraction to mixed number, and from mixed number through to improper fraction. So in this example, we're going to look at changing 3 and 2 over 4, which is our mixed number, and changing it to an improper fraction. So there's a technique to do this, and it's pretty simple. So we take the big number, this whole number, and we multiply it by our denominator. And then after we do that, we add on our numerator. So let's do that. So we're going to do 3 times 4 first to give us 12. And then we're going to do 12 plus 2 to give us 14. And then we're going to say that's going to become our numerator. So it's going to be 14 over our denominator here, 4. And that's how we go from our mixed number to an improper fraction. So what does this actually mean? So 3 and 2 over 4 we can represent using these circles here. So we can see that we've got our 3 whole ones. So 1 whole 1, 2 whole 1, 3 whole 1. And each of these is split into 4 sections, which is our denominator here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can see that we've got this remaining 2 pieces over here. So we've got another circle over here, which can also be split into 4 pieces, but only 2 of them are filled in. And that represents our final fraction here, this 2 over 4. This 14 over 4 is just a different way of writing this mixed number. And we do this because sometimes it's easier when we're looking at sums, which we'll look at in our next lesson. Sometimes it's easier to deal with improper fractions than it is to deal with mixed numbers. But this is what we mean when we're talking about a mixed number. 3 whole ones, and then 2 out of the 4 whole pieces selected on the last one. So this is our next example. So we're going to take 31 over 4, and we're going to convert it to a mixed number. So how are we going to do this? Well, it's pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to take 31, and we're going to divide it by 4. Now that's going to give us a whole number plus a remainder. So the remainder is going to go on the top of our fraction, and the whole number is going to be the whole number, which is our mixed number. So let's do this. 31 divided by 4. Well, we know that 7 times 4 gives us 28. 8 times 4 gives us 32. So we know it can't be 8 because 8 is too big, gives us 32. So 7 times 4 gives us 28. So our whole number is going to be 7. And our remainder is going to be 31, which is this number here, minus 28 from here, to give us 3. So it's going to be 7, remainder 3. Now let's use this and change it to our mixed fraction. So we're going to have 7 whole ones, and we're going to have 3 out of the 4 remaining ones. And that's how we go from an improper fraction to our mixed number. So what does this look like when we look at our circles again? So we can see that we've got 31 over 4 equals 7 and 3 over 4. So we've got our 7 whole circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then in our final circle, instead of a whole one, we've got our 3 over 4. So we've got 3 out of the 4 pieces that are available in the circle. So thanks for watching, everyone. This was our first lesson on fractions. So we looked at simplifying, improper, proper and mixed fractions and how to move between them. So our next lesson, we're going to start moving into addition and subtraction fractions and how we deal with that as well.